Hi. Hello. I'm going to let more people come into the room before we do what we need to do. As per usual, it's very much a sneak attack. Hello. Hello, one person in the room. Thanks for joining. We're waiting for more people to join. I know this is a sneak attack. But you know. Hello, 4 people in the room. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let me do my let me send a link to Instagram to tell people I'm here so folks can join me should they want to. You know, no pressure. They don't make them beats like they used to. They don't make them beats. Hello, everyone. I'm live on YouTube talking about MILF Manor. So if you watched episode 2, please come on over. Episode 3 hasn't aired yet. It's going to air tonight at 10 p.m. But if you wanted to know a little bit about what might be going on, please join us. Here's the link. Click it. Join us. They don't make them beats like they used to. They don't make them beats. Jose, J. Lee Do, how are you? I'm well. How are you? Better days. Hello. Renee. Hey, girl. Hey. B. Getch. Hey, y'all. Sandra, hello from Michigan. Oh, hello. I'm in Minnesota. Is that by Michigan? Sick of the mom. You mean sick of Kelly, right? They don't make them beats like they used to. They don't make them beats. They don't take the night like they used to. They don't take the night like they used to. MILF gang. I started putting MILF Manor in on Instagram, and it populated MILF gang. I was like, the hell is that? Okay, let the Instagram girlies know. Hello, Lynn J. Oh, 20 people in the room. Okay, on a Sunday before 90 Day Fiance. Are you guys excited for 90 Day Fiance the other way? I am. Usually Discovery Plus would give it to me early. This would have been a 90 Day Fiance the other way video, but girl, it's not on Discovery Plus, and I'm a little upset by it. I'm a little tooketh abacketh. Oh, you guys, I got a new couch. Don't worry, my old couch is still here. Jeez Louise, I gotta figure out how to get somebody to come by and pick this thing up. Yes, I did Facebook, whatever, but I keep forgetting to check my Facebook. So if anybody was ready to come pick it up this weekend, I missed that opportunity. Oh, it's this. I'm like, what is that in my frame? All right. We'll wait till we get 30 people in, or if it becomes 6, and then we'll get started. Thank you so much. Suman, hello. Ooh, that is a pretty dress. I'm in the market for good-looking dresses right now. I realized that I went and purchased myself some dresses that while they looked good on the model in the website, they don't look good on me. Yes, I'm excited to see Danielle and her husband. What is his name again? Johan is his name. How could you forget? Johan. Almost there. 20 seconds. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of MILF Manor, Season 1, Episode 2. The MILF should know, your MILF should know. I want it to be like some kind of play on words, but it isn't. Your MILF should know. Episode 2, Season 1 of this weird ass show. My name is Wah. If you're new to my channel, my name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance, MILF Manor, Love is Blind, Seeking a Sister Wife, and like all the other stuff, right? So if you are at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to give your girl a tip, you can do so. If any point I give you the hee hee ha ha's through this video and you're like, oh, I wish I could tip her. She's so fabulous and fantastic and hilarious. Then you could do so with any of these means down here. Also, you can do so if you are an international girly. There is a thank you, like thumbs up button that you can push somewhere on this thing, and you could do that too. And all of it is much appreciated. Okay, so let us jump right in. I don't have pictures of these people because like I could, but it feels like I'm putting a lot of energy into a show that I don't know, like, are people watching it? Do people care? Do people need the pictures? We'll see. So start off this episode with Joey, who's 20 years old, telling us that his mother always gets attention because she never wears a bra and the headlights are always on. I have a very specific sort of relationship with my parents. And I know for sure my brother has a very specific relationship with his mother, my mother. And I don't think any of it involves him being acutely aware of her nipples at any point past the age of 18 months. In fact, my mother didn't even breastfeed us because she couldn't produce enough milk, which is a thing a lot of women have, right? So it is just so interesting to me that someone who is 20 years old is living in a world where their mother's breasts are subject of conversation in their brain. Listen, I'm not saying it's here nor there, it's bad. I'm saying that it's just different than mine, right? Because I know there's plenty of people out there whose mothers do a myriad of things, and the breasts and nipples are simply another body part, just like an elbow or a finger. It's neither here nor there. It is just different for me to watch a show where a son is on talking about his mother's hard, high titties. And then she says, to make it better, she says in the confessional that they're both sitting in, well, you used to like my nipples when you were sucking milk out of them. You were so thirsty back then. It reminds me of this episode of some show that I can't remember. Maybe it was Ally McBeal. It was one of those shows that I didn't regularly watch. And it was, starring people who didn't look like me. And there was this like one episode where there's really weird, awkward woman who's still acting to this day, but she was an older lady with blonde hair and a short hair. And she talked about how when her son was like, when she was breastfeeding her son, how like somehow she was titillated from that. And I didn't like that back then. And it gives me the same feeling as watching Kelly and Joey talk or bond or whatever they were doing in this episode. It was out of my league. So They hee hee ha ha about it. And then we go to a scene where Kelly is like laying on a lounge chair out in the sun, and Jose is there, and Jose's mother, Paulo, Paula, 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 Palo. I don't know her name. It's like either Pola or Palo. And she is really against her son Jose being with Kelly because she says that her son Jose requires a woman who is quiet and demure and isn't as hoish as Kelly. And the first thing she's like is like, I don't like to say the thing that I'm going to say about Kelly. However, I believe that Jose needs a different type of girl. Kelly is not the girl for Jose. And I said to myself, well, let's talk about the word girl, and let's also talk about Kelly, and let's see if we can put those two in the same sentence, because I don't think girl describes Kelly. I don't think girl describes any of them. Also, like the idea that the name of this episode is called Your MILF Should Know, it's making it seem like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird. Okay, this whole episode is weird. This whole series is weird, guys. We're just going down a weird ass rabbit hole. All right. So then the next segment, I didn't take notes, so I'm kind of like watching it in the background on the mute off. So then we have a scene between So Young and Charlene where they talk about who they think has the most sexual prowess. And they bring up Ryan, and Charlene says that she believes that Ryan probably knows the most out of, sexual wise, out of all of the guys. And I think Ryan's like 28. I don't know how old Ryan is. He's not as young. He's not 23 or 20, right? And he does seem the most mature. And if we remember, Ryan is Shannon's son. And Shannon is the 50-year-old black lady who looks good for her age and used to be a B girl. Cool. All right. So then they start to be like, ooh, who's this? Who's that? So Young and Charlene. And then someone gets a text message, right? And the text message is that they are having like some kind of like guessing game. They're playing some kind of game, like whatever they do in the house so that they can break up the confessional conversations and the drinking and the monotony and the sitting by the pool time. Because like, what else are they going to do? They're in Mexico, in La Paz, Mexico, in this mansion together. And the game is very confusing. Okay. It's a game where they have to write down their darkest secret, or a secret that their son doesn't know, right? And this is what they wrote down, I think, before they even started the show. It was part of one of the exercises the producers gave them to do. And so the mom had to guess what the son had done, and vice versa. And so they put the things, the secrets, on a wall. And you know how they all have their own cell phone. So then they would go and take a picture of the thing and send it to a producer of the thing that they thought their son or mother could have done. And some of the things are, I got drunk and woke up next to my husband's best friend. I had a seven female orgy. I had sex in an elevator after the movie theater, after seeing a movie. I had sex with my son's best friend. I had like 2 hit it and quit it's in a row. Like, they run the gambit from something so stupid to something as wild as I had sex with my son's best friend. Okay. And one of them is like, I like lapped dance on a granny and she liked it. I like, just stuff. I had sex on a beach, like la 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 la. Domestic gordita, hello. Oh, the Learning Channel. Miss Muniz. I'm assuming there's an inye. Is there an inye over the N? Muniz. Hello. Yeah, it's the Learning Channel. Good old TLC. Sundays at 10 p.m. After, I think, Toe or Pillow Talk, whichever comes after that. But like, yeah. Okay. So, also, prior to this, Kelly and Jose have gone on a date. And Kelly is like, I'm going to take your son Jose on a date. I'm going to take Jose on a date. And Paolo's like, you're going to take Jose on a date? Where? And Kelly's like, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to get in the way. And meanwhile, Jose has gone to get Kelly a drink. They're all sitting around the pool. And Paula's like, okay, well, when are you going to go? She's like, no, I'm not telling you because then you're going to get in the way. I don't want to tell you. And then her confessional, she's like, I don't want to tell Paula where I'm taking Jose because she's going to just get in the way. I got to get Jose away from his mother. Jose comes back with his drink. Meanwhile, she has been like, andale, Jose, get my drink. And he comes back, gives her drink, and she's like, I'm going to tell you, I told your mom that I'm going to take you on a date, but I won't tell her where it is because I don't want her in our business. And Jose's like, okay, then tell me, let's go. Because he's trying to like go outside of what his mother wants, as well as I think he's trying to like get her to understand the boundaries, right? They're on a show. They're doing a thing. Like she can't just be in the way dictating what he does. So they end up going on like a 5-hour date. And you guys, she's like, I really thought long and hard about it. And I want to take you to like this, like national treasure of Mexico. It's like one of the, amazing spaces of Mexico. Everybody wants to go here. And oh my God, you guys, she takes him on a boat and he like carries her into the boat because the boat pulls up on the beach and like she's wearing like, some wedges that she's got to toddle around in. And then he like carries her and he takes her over to the boat and he puts her in and she's like, oh my God, you make me so nervous. And like, I've never felt this way about anybody. And most guys think I'm intimidating and you look at me deep in my eye and like, and she's like, this is where I wanted to take you. It's a mushroom rock. In fact, it's a big rock in the middle of the water and it looks like a mushroom. And he's like, oh my God, I've always wanted to come to the mushroom rock of Mexico. And I'm like, first of all, I've never heard of the mushroom rock of Mexico and I definitely don't want to go there. No, I'm okay, thanks. So meanwhile, while they're gone, Paula's like, no, Jose doesn't want to be with her. Jose needs a different type of girl. And all the guys are like, no, Jose's like really into her. Like he's a grown-ass man and he's into her. I think Jose is 23. I think they're all 23. I don't know how they are, but it's like she's like, no. And they're like, yeah, no, Jose like is picking up what Kelly's putting down. And she's like, no. And they're like, no, Jose like wants to put his face in between her knees. And she's like, no. And they're like, no, Jose wants to see what the nape of her neck looks like. And Paula's like, no. And they're like, no, you don't know. He's never felt such high and fake tetas. I know you guys are from Miami, so you've seen a lot of fake butts, but you haven't seen an Orange County high, hard titty. And that's what he's interested in. That's who we're talking about is Disco Mommy, Kelly. So anyways, Jose and Kelly get back from their date and Paula's like, where'd you guys go? Oh my God, where do you go? And Jose was like, oh, we went to the Mushroom Rock. And she's like, I wanted to go to the Mushroom Rock. And I'm like, what the hell is this Mexican Mushroom Rock? I've literally never heard of it. Not to say that it isn't like fancy or fun, but like, girl, really? Soraya, how are you? I haven't seen you in so long. I mean, granted, it could have literally just been 2 weeks ago, but time flies. Okay, so now that I've gotten past that like weird moment, let's go back to the awkward guessing of what your parent did or what your son did. So now they play this game in a way that doesn't make any sense because at this point, from the viewer's point of view, it's all just like we all know what the options were. And everybody reveals what they guessed after one another. So you would think that it would be a process of elimination at this point. But like it isn't for some reason. It's like no one knows like what the last ones are. So basically, who was it? I like Stephanie, who's like Latina but has a half black gay son named Billy. So Stephanie's was that she had had sex with Billy's middle school teacher. And if I'm wrong, let me know. And everyone's like, oh, and I'm like, that's not that bad. Stephanie could have totally been divorced. And like, if there's like a hot teacher in your son's middle school class, like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, why not? Like, you guys are both adults. He's a kid. Yeah, get in that. Get all up in that middle school teacher vibe. Domestic gordita, we're not there yet. We're not there yet, mama. We're not there yet. So then we find out that I think Charlene had sex with a younger guy who and didn't remember what his name was. Like I think that was Charlene. I had sex with a 23-year-old and I didn't remember his name after. And I'm like, who hasn't? Not me though, but I mean other people. It's a basic one. Remember, Charlene is the mom who looks like a mom, who has no plastic surgery, no fake hair. She's got her real body going on. And she's the one who came and did this because her daughter would have wanted her to do it because her daughter wants her to get back out into the world. And her son is Harrison, who's blonde. And Harrison's secret is that he like rubbed up on an old lady and she liked it because Harrison used to be an exotic dancer. Harrison used to be a stripper. So I need to figure out how old Harrison is though. Let me see if I have my old notes from before where I'm like, how old is that person? Because in my mind, they're all very young. Hold on, I'm looking to see. Oh, I didn't put how old Harrison was. But I'm like, did he become a stripper at 18? I mean, they are from Hollywood, so I mean, I could see him totally doing it, but like, I wish I knew how old he was. Oh, I took notes. Ha 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 ha. I took notes. I took notes. Here are my notes. Kelly and Joey are talking about her breasts and him suckling on her nipples as a baby. Jose and Kelly sunbathing in front of Pola. And then Kelly's very antagonistic to Pola about like how she's going to take her son out on a date. Charlene and So Young talking about Ryan being sexually knowledgeable. And that Jose is so mature and he's the most mature of the guys there. This is So Young and Charlene. And then you have to guess the family secret. And my first thought was like, how do you don't know who the person's handwriting is? And it's because they like posted up all of the little like, I slept with a 23-year-old and I don't remember his name. They posted it all in handwritten, and there were different types of handwriting. And I said, well, wouldn't you just pick your son or your mom's handwriting? Like I intimately know my father's handwriting. I mean, I mean, I never forged my dad's handwriting maliciously, but there have been times where I'm like, dang, he didn't sign this and he was supposed to. Or one of my parents was supposed to sign this and they didn't. Well, I'll just sign it because I know my dad's handwriting. My mom's is hard because my mom writes in like American calligraphy. I mean, my mom is definitely like from this era of like teaching kids how to write where they like hit your hand in order to like get you to write in the way that they thought a person should write, because her and her sisters all have the basic same type of handwriting. It's like swooping L's and like capital D's like Disney. It's like crazy. And I can never emulate my mom's handwriting. However, my dad always wrote in like a combination print and a little bit of handwriting. And like it was very staccato. So it was just very much easier for me to copy his handwriting. How did I even get talking about that? Oh, yeah, handwriting. Okay. Loco Peligroso. This show is gross and I couldn't get past the first episode. It had such incestuous vibes. Listen, come along on the journey. I'm taking you with me. You know? Okay, so that was what I thought. And then so then I wrote down some of the things. One of the like admissions was I got pink eye from eating ass. So Black April, because there's two Aprils. There's April who's 59 years old, April J. She likes to wear her hair in pigtails in this episode for some reason. And her son is Gabriel, and he thinks that his mother is kinky. And then there's Ryan. Ooh, then there's one that's kissed. I kissed my best friend and he turned out to be bi. Hmm. Anyways, so everyone is hoping that their mother isn't the one who slept with their friend's best friend, but they all think that it's Kelly. I'm gonna say it. They all think it's Kelly. I can't. There's no irrefutable evidence of this, but they all think it's Kelly. Okay, so after everybody goes and takes a picture of what they think that their son or mother has done, they sit down in a room and they have to like talk about it. And they have to talk about it. So the first one is Gabriel and April J. So Gabriel and April J. April J is the older woman, 59, who has a high libido. Remember, she said that. And her son is like the emo punk rock kid with like the lip piercing and the black nails. And he's like giving off the vibe he gives off is I am very comfortable with my sexuality and I don't have to prove my masculinity to anyone. And I actually think that it's really great in this day and age that we have kids who, especially male children, who aren't as like rah rah toxic and annoying, and but they're still like, I don't care if you think that I'm not feminine enough. I love women. Like, it's like it's what in my generation we would refer to as metrosexual, which is horrible. But like, well, no, fluid kind of means I think if you're like gender fluid, that means like you kind of just move between like female gender expression and male gender expression. Like I think you just kind of move within it, like, but like hetero flexible, I think is what we would now call metrosexual. I don't know really. I don't know. Confidently fluid. The thing is though, he's not. He doesn't think he's not out. Gabriel's not out. But anyways, that was Gabriel. So Gabriel said that on a dare, like at a like party, he's like, yeah, I was at a party. Gabriel this is what I think Gabriel is. I think that Gabriel, even though his mother is like a MILF, I honestly think that Gabriel grew up relatively wealthy and he grew up close to his mother. And I think that he was too wealthy to kind of worry about if anybody was challenging his sexuality. I don't know. Did you guys have that? So I had that like in my high school. Like I just kind of had it where the guys, the more money their family had, if they were like on the like more gay and flamboyant, they were just kind of allowed to be that. Like even though they may have been talked about, I'm sure their life was just as stressful being a gay man. There's just some privilege afforded to the people who have money and power. And I feel like that's what Gabriel is. Like so even if he I feel like Gabriel's the kind of guy who would like try and like might have sex with a man just to see if he liked it. And then when he didn't, it would be no harm, no foul. Like his whatever his masculinity is doesn't stop him from like experimenting. So at a high school like gathering or whatever, he like him and his best friend on a dare like kissed each other and they just did a little peck, he says. And then afterwards, his best friend was like, "No, I actually think I'm bi because I like that." And Gabriel's like, "Cool. I'm glad I gave you that experience, and I'm glad that it was me and you got to like try it out with me." Like that was his attitude about it. And then April's was that she woke up next to her husband's best friend after they had been drinking. Now, whether or not she had sex with him, I do not know. But anyways, Gabriel actually guessed that with his mother. And by the way, like whoever guessed this got to like have some kind of prize or whatever. And it was just like weird. Who cares about the prize? It's more so about this experience, okay? So then we find out that Billy, who is Stephanie's gay son, Stephanie, who's Latina and her son is half black, he had sex on a beach. I was like, okay, Billy, thanks for that. I'm like, Billy, do you want to tell us that you gave head on the beach? I mean, I'm being terrible right now. I don't want to out somebody who doesn't want to be out. Stephanie had sex with the middle school teacher. As I said, Harrison is the stripper. He's the one who felt up a granny. Ryan, who is the one that Charlene and So Young were saying is like so sexually advanced, and he's the one who's like a little bit older. He's in his late 20s. He's the black guy with like dreads who Kelly was trying to like mac on in episode 1. And he's Shannon's son. Shannon is the 50-year-old black woman who looks good for her age and used to be a B-girl. I'm always going to say that because I don't have pictures. But once I get pictures, guys, I won't have to like give you all that back information. I just want you guys to be able to follow me what I'm saying. Okay, I'm doing it for you. So he had on his birthday a 7-woman orgy. Now, I need details. Now, were these women licking each other up and down, or was he just expected to service all 7 of them? Please God, I hope they were using protection. Rebecca Rockland, watch my new mix. Hi, how are you? Oh, this picture is so cute. Is that a bathing suit, Rebecca? I like it. Good for you. Okay. So then we find out that I believe Shannon was the one who had sex in the elevator. And I already told you about Charlene. Kelly was the one who had sex in a Michelin restaurant in London, like a 5-star Michelin place in London. And like, I don't even remember that being one of them. And you would expect hers to be the most salacious, but it absolutely was not. And then her son, Joey, he's the one who, hit it and quit it. And we're just like, oh, God, you're barely not a virgin. Like, ooh, what woman there wants to have sex with a 20-year-old? Is it like this whole thing about like younger men being able to last longer? That hasn't been my experience. I feel like depending on the guy and depending on what it is that he's trying to get out of the situation, or if he's even caring about me, he'll last as long as he can. I've never had one time I had somebody just like, whoa, that's it. And we were both inebriated and I was in my 20s. So like, whatever. Okay. Paula and Jose look a lot alike. It's weird. Okay. So then we find out. Honestly, I don't remember what Paula and Jose's thing was. Do you remember what theirs was? If you guys remember? La Desperada. Oh yeah, it's a dress. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate it. Thank you for the Cash App. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so do you guys remember? I don't remember what theirs was. If you remember, tell me. Now, here's the one that really just like ruined the whole night because it was a secret that honestly, this person should have kept to their bloody selves because it's wildly inappropriate. So, Jimmy, who is So Young's son, so he's either half Korean or full Korean. He's giving me half Korean. He's the one who got pink eye from eating ass. And then he's like, well, it's because, when you're doing it, you're like, he's 26. And listen, you know what I'm saying? Like here's the one of the positive takeaways from this scenario is that I was never so sexually bold as a 20 something. And I mean, if a man even tried to go down on me at 26, I probably would have been very upset. Not that I didn't want him to, but like even now it makes me rather uncomfortable. Now I'm not going to stop him if that speaks to his spirit, I'm not going to stop him. But it it's just very awkward for me. I don't know when I'm going to never not be awkward about it. I think that I need it strategically. Like I don't want it before orgasm. I feel like I would require it after orgasm. Because otherwise I'm just like dee nee 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 nee. It takes me out of the moment. Listen, it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm going to say that I don't do that. I don't want to stop anybody from doing it, but it doesn't do anything for me. Yes, Ramsterdam. Yes. And I imagine the juices were a flowing. And he's like, "Yeah, you go up and down in it." And I was like, wow. I mean, so he was just like from the Rudy to the Tootie. I mean, he just was like moving about in the space. He was just like spreading cheeks and just like, yes. I won't watch show, but we'll tune into your review of MILF Manor AARP Medicare season. I think he's lying. I was wondering like how one could ever do that. How one could I don't know. I feel like it would be more of a thing talked about by medical professionals if it was like an epidemic. Anyways, so that's what he was doing and that's what happened to him. And so then So Young's confession was she's like, I'm going to say this and I don't want to have any explanation about it. I'm just going to say it. I had sex with my son's best friend. Y'all, Jimmy was not okay. Jimmy was not okay. This boy got drunk and then got naked and was swimming around in a pool. And Charlene came out to him and was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "No, everybody like lives their life and like we're just like floating through the earth and we're all just matter. And like I'm good, but I'm just like here right now." And she's like, "Okay, if you need something, then like let me know." Butt ass naked in the water. And they have to like blur out the water because like everyone can see his dingaling. And he's just like, "I'm good. I'm good." And then So Young, I keep calling her Sue Young. I wanted to be Sue Young so bad. So Young comes out and she's like, "Jimmy, come out of the water." And he's like, "No, you live in one world and I live in the other one, mom. And we're just floating along and we're just like living our lives." And like life is what life is. And he gets upset and she starts to cry. She gets upset too. And she's like, "Please just come in. Like you're naked right now. Like just come in." She sees her son just like going through it because I don't know why she thought to tell the truth in that. There are other lies there. I mean, there are other things she could have said, but to announce to people that she had sex with her son's best friend. And then Kelly was like, "Oh no, I wouldn't do that," because like all of Joey's best friends have been friends with him since like kindergarten. That's weird. And I'm like, if Kelly thinks some shit is weird, So Young is like, they have a wild ass relationship. Like, how long ago? Like, did she have sex with his like? And I'm trying to think. Like, he must have had the same best friend, and now he knows that his best friend had sex with his mom, and he has to like look at his best friend and be like, "Fuck, when did you fuck my mom?" And if when he was like 19, So Young should be in trouble. When she said that, in my mind, I was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, okay, it's Amsterdam. I don't know if you know this, but what that is, it's the beginning of Law and Order. Law and Order is a long running show in the United States where it shows New York police detectives solving various crimes around New York City. Specifically, the one that I'm referring to is Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and that's when there is a crime of like a sexual nature. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, let me tell you right now, everybody loves Law and Order. Black folk, white folk, everyone in between. Latinos, Asians, Southeast and not Southeast. Like we across the Americas, everyone knows the sound. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Good. I'm glad. I said, I said, so young, so wet, you nasty ass bitch. Okay, anyways. Girl, Christopher Maloney is fine and he will be fine until the end of time. Okay, anyways. So, woo! Bad. Ricky April's son says Jose is now a man. Oh, we finally get to meet Ricky in this episode. Okay, so here's the part that the gordita was talking about. The domestic gordita. Okay. So after this whole thing happens, so Young goes to her room and cries because she's like so embarrassed and so upset that she's upset her son. The next day, the ladies are having a good time. They somehow introduce some alcohol into the scenario, and then like people just start to dance. And I mean, So Young, she must be fucking so embarrassing as a mother when she's drunk. This woman is dancing like a crazy woman. Okay. She is dancing like a crazy woman the next day because what can she do? She has just embarrassed herself and her son in front of on national television, right? Anyone who knows them knows who her son's best friend is and now knows. I mean, just like the friend group must be the group chat must be blowing up. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy's group chat is blowing up. So, anyways, so after they have this like dancing or whatever, Stephanie speaks Spanish. Stephanie, who loves the Lord, she speaks Spanish. And her and Paula and Jose keep going in and out of Spanish when they're talking. And y'all, most Americans don't know this because most Americans don't have to be in situations where English isn't the primary language spoken. And when you are in a world, in a space, in a country, in an environment where you finally get the opportunity to speak your native language to someone else, you take advantage of it. Now, I'm going to ride two sides of the fence. If I'm in a work setting and people start speaking in another language around me at work, it can be a little annoying. But here's the truth. If they speak Spanish, I don't care because I usually can understand what they're saying. It doesn't matter. But when other people start speaking other languages, like I'm like, oh, is this a private conversation? Are you guys saying something privately? Or I mean, we're in a meeting, so I don't understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys are in your own office talking, or you're like in a whatever. But when you're in a social setting and you choose to break off and speak another language, I understand I 100% understand the feeling and the desire to be able to speak in your native language, speak where you don't have to think about translating. Now, I don't know how Paula and Jose speak English. Sorry, but they both have heavy accents. And so for me, I think to myself, do they have to translate it in their brain before they say it? Because my dad, like I asked my dad this. I was like, what do you speak in your head? Do you speak girlfriend in your head or do you speak English? And my dad's like, "Oh, I speak English, but sometimes I speak girlfriend in my head." He's like, certain phrases, certain things that I think are very specifically Garifunas things. Like I think of it in a way as a foreigner. But for the most part, I speak English. And I asked another friend, I was like, "Do you speak in your brain? Do you speak Spanish or do you speak English?" And he's like, "Oh, you know what? I speak English, but certain things I speak Spanish, but I do both back and forth. I'm very comfortable speaking English, but I'm also very comfortable speaking Spanish." And he's like, even sometimes like there are words I don't know in Spanish that I know in English, and there are words that I don't know in English that are only in Spanish. So it's like a hybrid. So if Jose and Paula think in Spanish, you have to understand that to be able to speak your native language to someone else when you're in your native country, like fuck Kelly. They're in Mexico and they found another Spanish speaker. So they're going to speak Spanish to that person because they probably feel that they can express themselves a little better in Spanish than they do English. And Kelly's like, what are you guys talking about? I'm like, they're not talking about you. And you're from Southern California, mama. How about you learn just a little bit of Spanish? So when the Spanish speakers are speaking, you're not like, oh, that's just the help speaking. I don't speak the help's language. That's what it was truly coming off as. Sandra, what do you speak? I try to keep it English or translate when I can. I'm the same way. So for me, it's like they were having like whatever little side conversation and they happened to be with the group. And my thought was, did Kelly want them to like fully walk away so that they could have their side conversation and not be deemed as rude? Certain situations, yes, I could see it being seen as rude. But in this situation, when they're chilling and relaxing and a little bit of bebidas has been imbibed and they are just like having a good time, like in Mexico, like, should they not be able to speak Spanish? And then even when she calls them out on it, they're like, oh, we're sorry, but we weren't talking about you. Like, we just want to speak in Spanish. Like, like, there are certain things, like, whenever I say gossip, I don't say gossip. I want you guys to know. So for those of you who watch me, if you're ever feeling like, oh, she's speaking Spanish and I don't understand, the word is chisme. It's also chismoso or chismosa. Whenever I say gossip, I am going to say chismoso, chismosa, chisme because it sounds better. It sounds better. It fucking sounds better. And it is a better way to say what you want to say because chisme is very like, it's better than gossip. Gossip is like, bleh, but chisme is like, oh, dime. Am I wrong or am I right? Spanish speakers, am I wrong or am I right? Am I wrong or am I right? Am I wrong or am I right? Okay. So, like, I get it. Now, I might feel some kind of way, but I need to stuff that American nonsense and that American way of thinking down because people feel comfortable and they feel like they can better express themselves in their native language or in a language where the word just sounds so much better. Thank you, Tina. Tienes razón. I don't even know what that means. That means you have and razón. I'm going to guess it means reason. I agree. I do have reason. Right? So it makes me mad that she did what she did and the way that she did it because sometimes you just feel better expressing yourself in your native language. And when you're on your native soil, could you imagine me being in America somewhere, but let's say I'm in the German part of it? I don't know, Pennsylvania, there must be like a German area where those people, the Amish are. Could you imagine me being in like that area and then being like, oh no, don't speak English. I mean, I'm mad everybody's speaking English, or I'm mad everybody's speaking German. This is what they speak here. The Amish speak it. Even though they speak English, they also speak a weird German. So I'm gonna let them speak it. Girl, the Germany of America. No, certain parts of Pennsylvania has a group of people referred to called the Amish. And the Amish sometimes speak a form of German because they chose to keep that cultural going. And if I were to go to their area and then demand that they speak English, it's weird. Oh, it basically means you're right. Literally, you have reason. Okay, great. Great. I do. Like, it's just like now I know that razón means reason, and I'm gonna lock that in and use it. Um, but it's okay. So, anyways, she's like, Everyone here speaks English. We should be speaking English. And I'm like, you are the only one who feels this way. Charlene, so young, no one else feels this way. And I bet you if there was one other Korean person that so young could speak Korean with, she absolutely would. Just the same way as if you were in a Spanish reality show and you had another person there who spoke English, you would relish the opportunity to be able to speak your native tongue without having to think before you speak. And I'm not saying that Jose and Paula don't have, like, I'm not saying their English is thus where they need to think. I don't know that. But my just assumption is that maybe they speak in Spanish in their brain and it's easier to speak in Spanish. And they finally found somebody. They found a comadre. They found someone that they could relate to. They found an amiga, an amigo. You know what I'm saying? They like Paula found a friend. And so she's like, I'm gonna speak in Spanish sometimes. And anyway, so Kelly went on her high horse and like acted a fool and was like hollering and yelling. And Jose was like, why is she yelling? Like, why is she so upset? And then Paula's like, well, now I'm the bad guy for speaking out about it. And I'm like, if it bothers you that they just speak Spanish when they're together, when they start speaking Spanish, just walk away from them. They don't want you in their conversation. They're not talking to you. But that doesn't mean that they're talking about you. They're just not talking to you. And if they wanted to translate, they would. Oh, you think no? Oh, I saw what you're saying. You're saying about your Dutch Pennsylvania German. Oh, Pennsylvania Dutch. I thought it was German. My bad, my bad, my bad. But Amsterdam is from Amsterdam, so she's Dutch too. Okay, let me get back to this conversation. Tienes razón. That's interesting. Today I learned Amish German sector. I just noticed your hand. I hope everything's okay and it heals quickly. Oh, thank you, Shayna. So what happened is I was washing dishes, okay, because I'm forced to cook. And I'm forced to cook because I no longer live with my dad and my sister, who are the house chefs. So what happened is I have to cook. And so I cook now. And I don't like it, but I do. Okay? And then I was washing the knife and it attacked me. It bit me. It bit me. It also bit me here, but this one wasn't so bad. And actually, this one still hurts. But then yesterday, I was cleaning it and it went and it tried to take off my finger. It tried to take off my finger. It attacked me. And so, anyways, I woke up this morning and I was like, it was bleeding so much. I didn't know what to do. I have band-aids, but I don't have band-aids like this, girl. I was not prepared. So tomorrow I'm gonna go to Target and buy like the first aid kit of all things. Why? We saw you with the fishy trout the other day. Go ahead, oh girl. Yeah, no, the fish. I was washing it. I was washing the fishy trout dishes. I was washing the fishy trout dishes and it attacked me. Oh. Anyways, I got to the urgent care this morning at 12 and I didn't leave till 2:45. Girl, they had me there for 2 full hours today. Girl. Girl, I was like, "Oh my god, guys, it hurts. It hurts me." And they were like, "Well, we can't put stitches on it because did you guys know that if you don't go immediately after getting cut, like if you go there after 8 hours, they won't be able to put stitches on you?" And I was like, "What? I didn't know there was a time limit." And so they were like, "Yeah." So they looked at it and they're like, "It's not that bad. Was it bleeding a lot?" And I was bleeding so much. It's like blood everywhere. And the doctor was like, "Okay, would I think that it was a lot of blood?" And I was like, "Perhaps no." But for me, it was a lot. And then, yeah. So I sat there and then, like, I just moved here, guys. I mean, I have my healthcare set up, but I don't have a primary care physician. And like, I need to go see all the doctors. Like, I need them to know my situation stat. Like, I want them to pull all my blood tests. I need to pull everything because Kaiser has all that information. These new doctors don't know anything about me. They don't know about my fibroids. They don't know about my low AMH. Who knows if I can have kids? Like, I don't think I can. Here, officially, for those of you guys who care, officially, I'm like, I'm not going to have kids. I know that I didn't follow up with anybody and anything. I want you guys to know I do have the footage in here. I do have the footage of me giving myself the shots and doing all the things. And thank you for those of you guys who did donate to the baby fund. I 100% used your funds to pay for the baby fund stuff. It did cost me like $6,000 out of pocket. And I used your money. So thank you for those of you guys who did do that. I 100% did. So maybe I should film a video saying thank you for those who donated, because I fully did use your money to pay for all my medications and all my aftercare stuff. And like, I did. So thank you. Salud. Anyways, what was I saying? So anyway, Kelly acted a whole fool. And Kelly acted a whole fool. And Paula's like, you see, Jose? You see how terrible? She's a monster. You see how terrible Kelly is? And Jose is like, yeah, she's awful. Don't listen to her. And I'm like, yeah, why do English speakers behave this way when someone speaks a different language? Why do they behave this way? Let them folks speak their English. I mean, they're Spanish. Shayna. Oh, you're not in LA anymore? Clearly, I've selected hearing, and I didn't catch it. Can everyone tell Shayna where I'm at? Everyone in the comment section, just please drop and tell Shayna where I'm at now. Ooh, DJ. Ooh. Say it one more time for the people in the back. Also, please drop in where I'm at. Hi, Yuzel. Thank you. That's where I'm at, Shayna. That is where I'm at. Hi, Yuzel. How are you? Welcome. I'm done. This is just chitty chat. I just finished saying what happened to my hand. Girl, Giselle, let me tell you, a knife, it jumped out of my sink and it attacked me. I was trying to wash it and it was dodging me. And then it went. So that's what happened. I went to the the ER today. Not the ER, the urgent care today. And I got this. They were like, oh no, you could just take it off tomorrow and expose it so that it can like heal. And I'm like, expose it? No. It's in pain. My finger hurts. No, thank you. You're welcome. I mean, thank you. Thank you for understanding my pain. All right, so that's it about MILF Manor, you guys. It is 6:38 Central Time, which means that it's 7:38 Eastern Time. So I want to give you guys 20 minutes so that you can prepare for 90 Day Fiancé the other way. It is coming on. If I for those of you guys who are on Pacific time, it's 2 hours. So it is 4:39 there. So you guys have like 3 hours and 20 minutes until 90 Day Fiancé is. So then what do? It's going to go live at 8. Or I don't know when it's going to go on Discovery Plus, but I'm going to watch it tonight. I want to go live later on tonight. That would be like 12 if I waited for the West Coast people. And then Ramsterdam, like what even time is it there? You know what I'm saying? Like what are the UK girlies? What are the like Greenwich Mean Time European girlies going to do? So maybe once I finish watching it, I will go live. So it's probably going to be at 8 or 10 tonight. Ramsterdam, go to sleep. Go to sleep immediately. Immediately? Go to sleep. Kelly was wrong for that. What a weirdo. It's giving narcissistic vibes, 100%. DJ, where are you? Hi Wa, love you. Did you get inseminated or try the other way? So what happened is I didn't even get to that stage, girl. They pulled out my 5 little eggs. Only one of them survived. And then it went through the incubation system and it did good. It got like a grade, like a high grade. And then they did chromosomal testing. No good. No good chromosomally. So I had low AMH, which means AMH is the hormone that tells you how many eggs you have left. So I have a low egg count. Domestic. You're no longer a teacher? What are you gonna do, girl? You have to tell me, but like, what are you gonna do? And also, you don't have to have a plan, girl. If you don't have a plan, I understand it. Don't trip. It's okay. It's okay. I've had to come to terms with it, and it's been like a couple of months of coming to terms with the fact that this is not going to happen for me. I also recognize that I truly need a partner. I can't just be a single mom out here. Like, yes, my parents would have helped me, and like, would have been all that good and stuff. But like, I think I need somebody to not only help me but love me through the process, and that is something that I didn't account for. I need someone to love me through it. So yeah. That's where I'm at. If ever I would, Waz fans should be called the Wahimians. Wahimians. If it makes sense to you, then like it makes sense to me, but I don't. Wahimians. Anyways, so yeah, so I'm glad that I came to that conclusion though. And like if I ever wanted to do so in the future and if I had eggs left, then I would have to do a surrogate. But here's the truth. I don't know because I have never actually tried to get pregnant. So the truth is that I don't know. Now, medically, it says that the chances are low, but that doesn't mean that if I actually had like consistent unprotected sex for 2 years that I wouldn't eventually get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Did you tell us where you are? Where are you? Can you create your village? Yes, a BFF co-parent. The thing is though, like I see what you're saying, but the truth is that I'm somebody who if I told someone that I would help them be a parent, I would actually do that. But I don't know that I have any friends who would actually say that they could do it and then follow through. You know? No, the answer is no. Like I would need that person to live in the same city as me. I would need that person to fully like take the child when I need them to take it, which is something that I personally would absolutely do. I don't have a problem with committing to stuff like that. But I don't have any friends who wouldn't have a problem with committing to stuff like that. And then the friends that I do have, they have kids. So like they couldn't, you know. I don't live in like, you know, it's a completely different thing. My husband and I were both told that we couldn't conceive naturally. Our daughter is now 2, conceive naturally. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, I don't know that, Valerie, right? I only know based on AMH levels and my chronic singleness, my chronic singleism, that's why I went the way I went. Is because like the truth is that I'm chronically single. I'm forever single. I'm a super single. So I never can wait for someone or think like, "Oh, I need to find someone." Like that's not my reality. My reality is that I'm forever single and I'm most likely by myself. Like yes, I have like some good dates and they last a while. Like 2022 was really good dating situation for me. Like I dated a guy for a while and it was nice. He didn't want to have kids though. And when I moved to Minnesota, you know? So like It's not been my reality. What's your social media page? You mean like Instagram? I'm just call me Wah everywhere. Bountifully single. Yeah. So, that being said, it's not like I'm like, "Oh," and I'm also not an irresponsible person. Like, I'm not just gonna, like, be out in the streets raw dogging it with strangers. Like, that's just not who I am. I'm too scared of STDs. Woo, not me. Mm-mm. She don't want it. I've gone this long without having an STD. I'm not gonna put myself in a position to get one. Child, not Wahima Lino. Okay, anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's watch our shows and then let's come back tonight. So if you guys want to come back tonight, like let's come back tonight. You know? Let's just come back tonight and have a good kiki. Okay? Get your wine ready, get your snacks, and let's watch our shows and let's come back. If you ever felt comfortable, do you think we could have a general life update while you moved on? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm comfortable with that. I probably should do it on my other channel though. My other channel doesn't allow me to go live. No, I'll do it on this channel. I'll do it on this channel. Okay, yeah, we can do it. Also, you guys, you should watch You People on Netflix. I have a lot of thoughts about it. And I don't know, I thought it was funny from like a comedic standpoint. There was a lot of funny moments in it, and those funny moments were due to Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy. However, the social like relations aspect of it and the like black woman and black women's hair and like, whatever, I got a lot to say about it. So I'm gonna watch it again and I'm gonna talk about it. But you guys want to talk about it sometime later this week? Let's talk about it. Okay, I might come back. It's a movie, DG. It's a movie. I'll come back tonight. We'll talk about Toe. We'll talk about MILF Manor tonight, maybe. Or Monday, maybe. Tuesday, not Tuesday. My book club is on Tuesday. And then maybe Wednesday. And we'll talk about all these things. All right. Thanks, guys. You've been amazing. You guys have a fantastic evening. I'll see you later on tonight when we talk about The Other Way. My fresh thoughts of it. And yeah, have a good evening. Okay. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Watch The Other Way so we can have something to talk about. I think it's going to be so good and I'm very excited. Hulu. What? Kindred? Oh, I can't. I feel like it's going to stress me out. Don't you think it's going to stress me out? I feel like it's going to stress me out. I read the book. I read the book twice. I feel like watching it in real life. Oh, it's going to stress me out. Okay, bye.